Feeling, would you believe me if I said there's a film out there that flips everything you thought you knew about family secrets and abuse completely upside down? Feeling, today we're talking about the strange thing about the Johnsons, Ari Aster's jaw dropping. Feeling, 29-minute short film that's every bit as disturbing as it is unforgettable. Feeling, this isn't just any psychological horror. It's a gut punch to everything you thought was taboo. If you're brave enough, stick with me as I break down the whole story, the twists, and what on earth was going on with that ending. Trust me, you're not ready for this one. Feeling, let's get things rolling with the Johnson family, who on the surface seem like any proud, close-knit American household. Dad Sidney is a respected, warm, appealing, poetic man who genuinely loves his son Isaiah and wife Joan. Feeling, the movie opens with what appears to be a painfully awkward but familiar scene. Sidney accidentally walks in on teenage Isaiah in the bathroom. Feeling, clearly catching him in a moment of private activity. But it's not just an embarrassing moment. It's written to make you squirm. Feeling, as Sidney's over the top, gentle response tries to clear away any shame and open up about healthy boundaries. Feeling, what looks like awkward father-son talk quickly spirals into something ghastlier. We soon see that Isaiah isn't simply a regular kid. He's dangerous. The dynamic between father and son starts to feel off. Isaiah begins manipulating, intimidating, and controlling Sidney. Feeling, the screenplay makes this clear bit by bit, revealing a twisted relationship where Isaiah, not Sidney, has all the power. Feeling, this isn't the often told story of a predatory parent. Instead, Ari Aster confronts viewers with a nightmare reversal. Feeling, Isaiah is sexually abusing his own father. The story skips ahead to Isaiah's adulthood. Feeling, the family gathers for a special event, a wedding full of smiling faces, jokes, and happy little family photos. But beneath these grins, Sidney is clearly broken and afraid. Isaiah throws soft jokes his dad's way. Feeling, but there's a chilling undertone because we already know what's happened. Joan, the mother, floats in and out as a doting wife. Feeling, but her denial is almost palpable. She keeps herself from seeing the signs, clinging desperately to normalcy. Throughout the reception and dinner that seem innocuous but reek of tension once you know the truth. When Sidney tries to avoid Isaiah, feeling, even during normal things like passing potatoes or Belgian biscuits, you see the pattern. Sidney is living in terror. Feeling, and Isaiah's casual dominance over him is always lurking in the smallest gestures. Later, Sidney tries to escape to his bathroom, his last safe space, but even here Isaiah intrudes. Feeling, there's a crucial confrontation about Sidney's secret autobiography. Isaiah finds the manuscript. Feeling, this is Sidney's desperate attempt to expose the truth and maybe free himself. Isaiah threatens and bullies his father. Feeling, making it clear Sidney isn't allowed to share their horrific reality. Feeling, burning the book is just another way for Isaiah to erase evidence and maintain total control. Time passes and cracks in the family's facade begin to show. Feeling, at a New Year's party, everyone is hugging and celebrating, but behind closed doors, Isaiah continues his reign of psychological terror. Feeling, Joan tries to help clean up, playing her usual role of caretaker, still seemingly oblivious or unwilling to face what's happening. Feeling, the film's genius is that it never lets viewers escape the feeling that something truly grotesque is festering just behind the surface. Feeling, Sidney finally makes a desperate move. In one of the film's most gut-wrenching scenes, he locks himself in the bathroom. Feeling, trying to write down the truth about the abuse. The script cuts between Joan and Isaiah, who become suspicious about what Sidney is doing. Feeling, meanwhile, Sidney overdoses on medication, heartbroken, battered, and unable to cope any longer. The paramedics arrive, and we see the horror. Feeling, Sidney is dying, failing to escape his son's grasp or his wife's inability to truly see what's happening. After Sidney's death, the family explodes. Joan, now forced to confront reality, finally questions Isaiah about their past. She asks why Sidney was crying after Isaiah's prom night. Feeling, when he came home years ago. That night, it's heavily implied, marked either the start or a dramatic turning point of the abuse. Feeling, Isaiah tries to deflect, becoming defensive and outright aggressive. The final confrontation is savage and heartbreaking. Feeling, Joan accuses Isaiah she can no longer shield herself with the denial. Isaiah acts out violently, breaking down, and the scene erupts in a gut-churning chaos. Feeling, Joan, fueled by years of ignorance and grief, attacks Isaiah, calling him a monster, but he fights back and even justifies his actions. Feeling, talking about love and blaming Sydney as if their twisted relationship was mutual. Aster forces viewers to grapple with how denial, manipulation, feeling, and taboo allow such patterns to thrive and destroy. By the closing moments, the Johnsons' world is shattered. Sydney is dead, Joan is traumatized, feeling, and Isaiah's monstrous behavior has finally come out into the open, but not before ravaging the family. There are no easy answers. Feeling. The film ends on a note that's bleak but powerful, showing the cycles of abuse, the blindness of loved ones, and the unbearable cost of silence. Feeling. What makes the strange thing about the Johnsons truly unforgettable isn't just its disturbing premise. It's how the movie forces us to look at the patterns that keep abuse hidden. Feeling. By reversing the roles, a son abusing a father, Aster tears away our expectations and makes us confront what we usually refuse to see. Feeling. Isaiah isn't just a villain, he's a manipulator and product of denial, with Joan symbolic of society's refusal to see pain happening just out of view. Sydney, the poet, tries desperately to process his trauma but is destroyed by Isaiah's power and Joan's unwillingness to act until it's too late. To sum up, Ari Aster's short isn't a horror film in the traditional sense, but a blistering study of terror inside the home. It's uncomfortable, feeling, twisted and haunting, designed to shock audiences into confronting how hiding the truth only lets monsters grow stronger. Feeling, the film holds up a mirror to the patterns of silence, complicity, and misunderstanding that can haunt any family and leaves us asking how far we'd go to ignore the strange thing happening under our own roof. All right, feeling. If this recap got you thinking or stirred up some crazy emotions, drop your thoughts in the comments. Did this film freak you out as much as it did me? Feeling. Smash that like button if you want more deep dives into dark films. Share this video with your friends who love psychological horror. Feeling. And don't forget to subscribe for more chilling movie breakdowns. Catch you in the next one.